Will Superman ever escape his alien prison, and what of his memory on Earth? Well, let's hop into the pages of Future State Superman Worlds at War issue number 2 and find out together, shall we? So then, picking up from where the last issue left off, Sadie, our POV character, had left the major tourist trap that Smallville, Kansas had become. After not finding the answer she was looking for in the Superman drum circle, one guy was nice enough to follow behind after her and see if she was okay. Moreover than that, this guy wants a little bit more insight into what she said before, about how it was Clark Kent who saved her and not Superman. Obviously, Sadie was being a little bit more metaphorical than she was literal, but she does let the guy read her favorite Clark Kent news story. This story, you won't be too surprised to find out, deals with heroes, or at least one person whom Clark Kent himself felt was a real hero, an unsung one who never got his due during his time alive. We as the reader actually get a chance to read this story while action is juxtaposed with what's going on with Superman himself fighting in the Coliseum on Warworld. So who was this person who so touched the heart of the Man of Steel? Well, it turns out his name was Waters, and he was a 22-year-old African-American jazz musician right around during the high point of World War II. This man gave up a promising career in the arts when he had heard about the horrors of the Holocaust, deciding to enlist in the army even though he had been kept from the draft because of a deformed foot. Yet all the same, this man persevered. He fought the good fight even if it ended up scarring his own soul very deeply, and when the war was done, he didn't stop fighting there either. He helped the European civilians rebuild even though he himself was probably not offered many of the same rights back in his home country. And when he returned home too, he would become a fixture in the civil rights movement, even though doing so meant he would also end up getting assaulted and thrown in jail. Waters would even be forced to bury his son and wife before his time, but was certain that his son's name lived on as a scholarship, helping people just like him reach greater heights than they could ever imagine, even in his dying days sleeping in alleys and shelters. This guy with his dying breath made sure that he left this world much better than he found it, and that's something that, well, truly resonated with Superman, who basically tries to do the same every day himself. Why, even now, while on Warworld, while he fights for his life against insurmountable odds, Superman does not actually take any of the lives of the other alien gladiators who have been sent to kill him. Quite the opposite, he goes out of his way to break their own chains. And naturally, this drives Mongul, the leader of Warworld, positively insane. He had done everything in his power to try and break Superman's spirit, to make him forget his Earth and his family, to turn him into a weapon of war. Yet, despite all of this cruelty, Superman stays resolute and says that he's not leaving Warworld until the people turn against Mongul and all the slaves are freed. In fact, as we discover, Superman has actually died several times on Warworld, but Mongul has moved heaven and earth to bring him back to life just so we can try and break him all over again. But Superman will never break because he believes in very much the same things that man Waters believed in. Lifting people up, giving voices to the voiceless, and being strong enough and courageous enough to fight for the people who can't fight for themselves, even though you might lose, even though you might get hurt. Because that's what Superman is about, that battle and fighting it to the very bitter end no matter what. That's what so inspired Sadie, and we discovered that her real mission for coming here to Smallville was actually to find the original Kent family barn where Superman's ship still is to this day. Not the fake one they built to distract tourists, the real deal, the genuine article, the one that helped start it all. And it's on that note right there, as Sadie finds what she was looking for and her faith being restored, the comic itself ends up coming to an end. And so that was Superman Worlds of War issue number 2, everybody. And I gotta say, whatever I was expecting from this series, Johnson and company end up throwing a hell of a curveball my way. It's a comic that I think actually does a really solid job having its cake and eating it too. Did you want to see Superman fight a bunch of aliens in a gladiatorial arena a la the movie Gladiator? Well, hey, we got you and it's super cool. But did you also want a positive, hopeful, uplifting, life-affirming Superman story? Well, don't worry, we got that in here too. In fact, what I think really makes this two-pack of stories work is that Johnson really understands that Superman as a character is capable of so much. He can excite, but he can also uplift and inspire. And sometimes he can even do both at the same time. It's not just what Superman does, but the feelings people have about him and how they inform the world and the story. The special credits also gotta be given to the art team on this one, who makes a meal of pretty much every single page they have here. This is the Man of Steel by way of Conan. Something I never actually thought I would get until I got it, and boy do I sure enjoy it. There's also 2 really good backup stories with this one too, so be sure to check those ones out. Overall though, I'd give this one a very positive 9 out of 10. I'm excited to see what else Johnson can bring to the world of Superman, both in his new Superman projects coming down the pipeline and House of L, which we'll be able to read sooner rather than later.
Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Jewel, and if you're seeing me right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, which I am very appreciative of. It really helps drive engagement and retention and all that other good YouTube stuff. So does liking and commenting. Wink wink. If you like my content too, you should check out my Patreon page. We just redid all the tiers, so there's a ton of great rewards. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month, and well, it would just really help me out. It's never expected, but always appreciated. So until next time everyone, I've been Cape Joel, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.